everybody. I'm Adam, keeps playing Vector anyway, and this is my brother Aaron. Say hello, Aaron.
How's it going?
Aaron does not know what jungler he wants to play.
That's true.
Anyway, we're here for the second episode of Bronze 4 and Beyond. Did you have a good week, Aaron? It's been a little more than a week. We're shifting our schedule so that this all releases on Saturdays. Seems like a better idea. But
Yeah, I had a pretty busy real life week, so I don't think we played a ton of games, but it's kind of why we put it off for a little while. But I think overall we did pretty well.
yeah, I ended up playing a lot more games than you did, so it'll be a little different.
Yeah, I think
But
together we ended up going like 6-4. Is that right?
that's correct, yeah.
So it's
So
pretty.
yep. So we're watching a game here where Aaron jungled a Moo and I played Alawi. I'm still working on Alawi, but it's going a little better. But anyway, you want to just go lane by lane, Aaron? Anything
Yeah, sure.
special to talk about this week?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So top lane. Who'd you play in top lane?
This week in top lane, I looks like I had a game on Mundo and another game on Mundo.
Nice. So you're being consistent.
Diversifying. Yeah.
Well, we talked about how you're much more consistent with your champions than I am.
Yeah.
So for mine, I had 5 games on Alawi, 3 games on Nasus, and 1 on Renekton, because why not?
You had that many games just because that's one of the lanes you like to play solo, right?
That is correct, yeah. So what were you trying to work on last week for top lane?
I think my main thing in top lane, and I think it was, if I recall correctly, because I played Mundo, it was more of just about surviving laning phase to be able to make an impact later. Because like Mundo is not the kind of champion where you're gonna like get a lot of early kills. Probably it is
Yeah.
more about farming and building up your health so that you're basically unkillable later on.
Yeah. Mine was along similar lines, trying to... Basically, I tend to get myself into bad trades. Right? I go, oh, there's fighting going on. I should be fighting. Let's fight. And then I don't generally play champions that excel at that. So... And a lot of times, because I play a lot of different roles and I play a lot of different champions, I don't know the exact pain points for each champion, right? Like, I don't know when they're going to beat me.
Yeah, I think we're both kind of bad about that because or we both end up playing tank a lot because we're both conscious of like the tankiness of our comp. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which usually means that we end up doing it and playing something that's widely considered less fun. But that also usually means that in like laning as a top laner, like you're probably not going to want to fight too often. You're probably more interested in farming.
Yeah, like even as I'm playing Alawi, like she's all about picking her fights, getting her E off and getting the fights, and so like that's how I lost a bunch of games as Alawi when I first hit silver and didn't care about placing. Is I just like, oh, she's a bruiser, let's fight, and then I would just die.
Yeah, but she's not like a Tryndamere or like someone like that, right?
Exactly. And so that's in my one Renekton game I played. I picked it because I'm like, oh, Alawi's going to get screwed against a Riven, so I picked Renekton to play into that a little bit. And I still lost because I didn't know the champion as well, and I got into this, I got into scraps that I shouldn't win. We ended up winning anyway, but I got carried pretty hard that game, which is okay to admit. It happens. So that's that. And so how'd you do? I felt like I did a lot better, especially on Alawi as I'm getting used to her. Nasus I didn't do as well, but in general I feel like I'm starting to get it. I had this sort of dynamic when I played ADC as well. I would place Tristana and I would jump at people.
Yeah.
So how about you? I don't think I made very many good teleport plays though. That was one thing I was working on too.
Yeah, I remember trying a couple and not quite getting it off. I think we both kind of have a mental block there, where we're not very good at timing it or knowing when to go. And like I made a couple teleports on Mundo that like I showed up after like the fight was done and like we already won or lost and like it was just pointless. But I think generally I did what I said I wanted to, which was survive laning and make an impact later. And like both those Mundo games we won, and like both of them I was positive kills to death. So. Definitely worked out.
Yeah, in general, worrying about like scrapping and stuff is something for all roles. Like, don't chase too far. If allies are gonna die, let them die. Don't
Compound their mistake by joining in, right?
exactly. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But so top lane we felt went pretty well. So what are we working on this week? I think teleport plays are definitely something I'm going to specifically look at working on this week.
Yeah, I mean, after having more or less achieved the goal that I wanted to achieve last time, I think I'm probably in the same place because I always run it. I always run teleport. It's just like it never quite comes off right. And also, I think I need to figure out a better way of like knowing when to mirror like a split push. I feel like
Yeah,
in top lane usually end up like against somebody who's likely to try to split push.
yeah, your Rivens, your Tryndamirs, your
Yeah, so I think like knowing when to go handle that and when to like take the 4v5 advantage, like that's something I need to work on a bit. And that ties into teleport too, because in theory, if you can check the split laner, then the rest of your team gets into a fight, you can teleport it.
yeah, exactly.
You'll get to the fight, right?
Yep. So yeah, I think we're in a similar place there, and I'm just going to try to work on CS. Like I feel like I'm working on not scrapping with people, but sometimes I run off too far. Like I want to try to balance the fighting with the CSing. So that's important to me too, because I know I'm losing out on that on a lot of lanes.
Yeah, I kind of like Mundo for that reason. Like even if I am like losing exchanges and stuff, even though he's melee, like using the cleaver or briefcase in my case to farm like at
Yeah.
least like most of the CS, you know. Like I
Yeah.
usually get 4 or 5 out of every wave. Oh, you there?
Oh yeah, sorry, I got caught up in this exciting match I'm watching.
You're just watching the video.
Yeah, well, this is that time when like we totally messed up and almost gave a double kill top lane.
Oh, what game was that you were watching?
Alawi and Amumu, you like were invading his jungle and got caught out. It was very
Yeah,
exciting.
that was really not my best Amumu game. It's been a long time since I've played it. We'll get into that when we talk about jungle.
Let's talk about jungle then. So
Alright.
jungle is my best role, I think, and it's what I play when I go solo a lot. So I went 1-2 on Shyvana, which is not great, but it's a small sample size. I went 4-1 on Zac, who's the jungler I've decided on. I went 0-1 on Echo, but I played pretty well, and 2-0 on Hecarim. Who'd you settle on for jungle? Because this is one of your big things.
Well, I still really haven't settled. I played one game as Ramus and one game as Amumu. Yeah, I think it worked out that I got like 2 games in each role this week. Um, but yeah, I lost the Ramus game. Like that was just he's a champion I played like a long time ago and haven't played in a long while. And
Yeah, you have the sweet beta King Rammus skin, right?
yeah, which is like half the reason I picked him. But yeah, I definitely like did not fully remember how to play with him. He's a little weird.
He's very weird.
Like just because like the rolling thing and like engaging like that, you like gotta be right up in their face, but sometimes that means you get blown up. And then Mumu was kind of the same way. I haven't played him in a while, but tried to do him again. We did win that game, and I feel like I'm in impact in terms of ults, but like
Yeah, we're playing with a Katarina and a Misfortune who both have like if you can hold a bunch of people in place for a long time, then their ults will or that they will do really good.
yeah, we also had a Sona. So like between me and Sona, those were 2 ults that like hold people down for the other 2 ults, and it just worked out way too well. But I think I landed good ults in that game, but I just like did not do well in any other aspect. But fortunately, winning a team fight is sometimes the difference between winning or losing the game, right?
Yep. So was that your goal? Is to just find someone you're comfortable on and get used to him?
Yeah, I kind of settle on somebody. I'm still not there, so it's probably going to continue to be my goal. Like I've mentioned this to you before, but like I like playing characters that like positively impact team fights. It's just not the most fun thing to do all the time.
Right, especially in jungle when you have to like roam around by yourself half the time. Like when you base it on other players, it gets kind of weird.
Well, yeah, and someone like Mumu, like his ult is, you know, absolutely it will swing a team fight. And if you got like a Sunfire and all that, like, you know, you're doing massive AoE, you're stunning everyone on their team, you're holding them down for your allies, like you can have huge impacts in team fights, but like actually like playing him and if you're not in a team fight is just not entertaining at all to me. But again, we run into that issue where like you and I both care so much about team comp that like if I need to play a tank, I'm gonna play a tank.
Yeah.
I think maybe I need to find like a tankier jungler that I actually enjoy playing.
I sent you a page. It was like lol recommender, and it categorizes champions by like attributes they have. Like this one does AOE damage, and it tries to find you ones that line up similarly. It's kind of neat.
Yeah,
So the commonality between the ones I play is I tend to like to play tanky initiators, right? Like I like to be able to dive into the enemy team and cause a bunch of confusion and do a bunch of stuff and then be able to walk out.
yeah,
But my problem with Shyvana, I played Fiddlesticks for a while, and he doesn't really fit that bill because he's just so. I got sick of getting blown up. But Shyvana doesn't really gank till 6. Echo, I like him, but I don't know about him. But like Hecarim was the one I've been doing recently, who was cool. He can do the same thing, and he actually does some damage, and he can gank before 6. But I still wasn't feeling it entirely. So Zach was one of the ones I played before. So I played 5 games on him, went 4-1. It was pretty cool.
yeah.
I just like being able to gank with him. It's so much fun.
It's kind of awesome that you're able to jump back into it and do that well too.
Yeah, I think that's part of the advantage of playing the way we play is we play a lot of champions and like yeah, we would be a much higher rank if we just played one champion in 2 roles each, right?
Yeah,
Like for sure, like not even questionable.
yeah,
But I think because we're getting used to all the different champions and the skill we're developing is like dealing with champions on the fly, and we're developing like skills of like general map awareness kind of stuff. When we pick up a new thing, it's not quite as difficult.
yeah. And I've also said before, like it's always easiest to like lane against champions that you yourself have played, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like when you have like a wider breadth of like champions that you've at least like dabbled with, right? That like when you come up against him, you're like, oh, I know exactly how his Q works, and I know how to dodge it, and I like know how long it'll take. I know what his auto attack animation looks like. You know, like it's
Yeah,
all like second nature to you because you've done it so many times.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, so my big thing was like I wanted to get more like pre-6 ganks, and part of that was the champions I was playing, right? The ones they weren't good at. So I wanted to try a different style and get better at that, and it seemed to be working pretty well. It's really nice to be able to gank whenever your E's on cooldown for Zach, and it's a blast. I'm loving him. I played him a lot season 3.
Cool.
So what's your current thought about what champion you're going to play? Are you any closer to it, or?
Don't think so. I think
All
I'm
right,
still searching.
all right, we'll figure it
I
out.
did play like a Warwick game like a few weeks ago, and I dug that, and I think I might try it again. But he's not in a great spot. But I don't know. He was like my first jungler I ever played. I think he was a launch champion.
Yeah,
So
you
I
love the
think
launch champions.
season 1. But we'll see how that goes. I might try it.
Cool. How about mid? Who'd you play mid?
I played Brand exclusively,
I also only played Victor. I went 3-0 on Victor this week. What the heck?
and I went 2-0 on Brand.
Boom.
So our mid's on point.
Apparently, yeah. So my thing was like wave management and roaming.
Yeah.
So Victor is great because he shoves the wave super hard, but the thing is you got to do something with that. And so we were talking about how I was losing more. Like I was losing games even though I was like doing pretty well in lane. And I think I really did pretty well in this. And I don't know. So what were you working on in mid?
Yeah, I also talked about roams quite a bit, and like, and in these games I had a couple like solid roams. Like I think at one point I ended up getting like our going bot and getting our ADC like a double kill in one of the spring games. But also one of the things I wanted to work on that I didn't do great at was like doing better in early game. I don't know what it is about Brand. I think part of it is that you like build tanky. Like usually you build like Catalyst first,
Right. If you go into Rod of Ages, which is a really slow burn.
Yeah, so it's kind of like for the first 10, 15 minutes, like you aren't doing a ton of damage, and usually whoever you're laning against is doing more than you. So it's kind of just like keep the farm up, like keep building, and like try not to give up a bunch of kills. And I think both of those games, my early game was not spectacular, but like we ended up winning out in team fights, and I ended up performing well in team fights. It's just a matter of surviving until that point and not letting the other mid laner snowball. Because usually, if anybody's going to snowball, it's mid lane, right?
Right. Yeah. Who did you end up laning against in those? I'm trying to check mine.
So one of them was against Karma, which I had quite a bit of trouble with, and the other one was against. Oh shoot, who was it? Oh, Talia, which I
Oh
had
yeah.
never played nor like seen very much.
Yeah, she roamed like crazy in that game because that's her ultimate, right?
Yeah, but we ended up doing pretty well in that one, and I think my reaction to her roaming was usually just like shove all her farm in her tower and let people
Yeah.
deal with it, which kind of worked.
Yeah, I played against a Vel'Koz of Vladimir and a who's the other one? Oh, and a LeBlanc. So I was actually really afraid of LeBlanc. 'Cause I really haven't laned against LeBlanc much,
I hate her.
but
She's
um,
scary.
I ended up doing like she got the lane late, and I managed to like poke her down so that she couldn't get back to lane. She couldn't get to her farm, and so that was something I think I did improve a lot on is my CS. I need to work on the pure numbers. Like it's always kind of weird because depending on the situation, how many CS you should be getting is different.
Yeah,
But I think I did pretty well on it.
cool.
I might have miscalculated. I might have gone 2-1 on Victor. That seems more accurate. Anyway, yeah, it looks like 2-1, but still good. I'm still working on CS. I'm so bad at it mid lane. I even though I don't think I roamed well enough in that game. I did shove the wave and roamed a little bit, but I don't think I was as effective as I wanted to be. So I'm basically working on the same thing for mid this week. How about you?
Yeah, I think for me, I want to keep up the roaming, but like mainly it's just because I intend to continue playing Brand. That's just the way it is. So I think I'm gonna work on surviving early game, really getting the farm well, and like either landing poke to back them off, or just avoiding their poke,
Right, makes sense.
surviving early.
Cool. So, and then I guess we talk about bot lane together. We have two permutations of bot lane, so we always go together, right? So, when I played ADC, it was terrible. I played Kate and I lost both games, and I was just like, I was missing CS. I got shoved out of lane. I had bad trades. I basically,
Really bad in both of those games as support.
oh well, I mean, I also did bad like independently. Like I was just like whiffing CS. So,
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. One of them we were against Blitz Lucian.
and we both got hooked a handful of times, and then blowed
Yeah,
up.
we kind of got our asses kicked on that one, I think.
Yeah.
And then the other one was against Lucian Sona as Kate Leona. I think that wasn't that the one where we got like an early like double kill or something, and then
Oh yeah, and
just,
then
like,
gave it right back.
yeah, just like
Oh, that
completely.
I remember specifically you taking like a full Lucian ult to the face and being like, "I'm Leona, it's fine," and then it was not fine.
Yeah, that's also a weird one. Why did we why did I play Leona?
We thought that you like since you're a little more aggressive than I am, that being on like a heavy initiating champ would be a good idea, and I think maybe we needed a tank.
Yeah, that might have been. Yeah, because looks like we had like Scion, Echo. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure why I played Leona. I mean, like, I used to play her quite a bit. I like her, but, like, it's been a long while since I've played her. I think you had played her the previous game. Yeah, that was it.
You
I,
dug how it went.
yeah, so I think I was just like, ah, shit, I should play Leona. Like, I've done her before. Like, it'll be fine. And it was not fine.
Yeah, so I have to work on everything for ADC. Like for some reason, like dealing with the multiple lanes and auto less hitting should be easier, but I'm just terrible at it. So
I,
um,
I think that's, for a while, and definitely now, has been our weakest, like, permutation.
oh, absolutely. Maybe we should play it a couple more times just to get practice at it.
Maybe, or just, like, really focus on those games and decide, like, are we going to play aggressive? Are we going to play passive?
Yeah, but hilarious. So I'm working on all the same stuff, like bronze 5 stuff. You know, like last hit good.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Actually get the CS that's in your lane. Yeah.
yeah. So what are you looking at?
As support,
Yeah.
I think I need to be more passive in general. Because we've
I'm
always
I'm
kind
a
of talked about how
yeah.
I'm generally more aggressive, but like, I think if you're ADC, then like, the impetus for like going in should not be coming from me, right?
I've actually heard about it the other way, so maybe I should try being more aggressive. Let's try it both ways and see how it goes.
Yeah, maybe we can do a little bit of both, but like, I think there still is some sort of mismatch in like when we decide to go in.
Oh, for sure.
I think that's part of what's messing us up here.
And hilariously, the other way, when I play support and you play ADC, we do awesome.
Generally,
We
yeah,
generally do pretty good. We went 1-1 this time. I won a game on Sona and lost a game on Leona, but I think we did pretty well in the laning phase for that Leona game. Am I mistaken here?
no, I definitely think we did well. My kill to death is like 8-8 in the loss, so that's pretty good. And I doubt that would have happened if we lost lane.
Yeah, I wanted to say yeah, you had by far the most like damage on our team, and I think it's one of those ones where we did well early, and then it got away from us in team fights. And I had a lot of death as Leona, but that's what happens as a Leona game, right?
Yeah, yeah. The
Um,
one where you played Sona, I was 4-0, and like I think we just like, totally kicked ass in that one.
yeah.
We're up
Uh,
against Leona, so that kind of makes sense. They had no sustain. I think we just won the lane by staying alive longer.
Yeah,
Poking.
and yeah, I actually so one thing I was trying to work on, I think this specifically that worked really well in my Sona game, and obviously it didn't work in the Leona game because you can't really, was like trying to poke their ADC when they go for a last hit.
Yeah,
Like theoretically, you can go, okay, my minion's about to die. He is going to auto attack that minion. If I attack him when he does it, he can't attack me back because of his auto attack animation. Uh, and so I did that a handful of times, and with Sona doing that with a power chord, it's like really strong.
oh yeah, yeah. Like the Q power card combo like can chunk people early. That's for sure.
Yeah, so it's like if you do like a Q power chord, which is what I was like, especially on an ADC, because a lot of times too like people won't take MR, right? And so
Yeah,
I did really well in that. I didn't do much roaming to help other lanes, but I think that was my big thing like was to not get caught out by poke and to do a little better with that. I I don't know if I should play Leona anymore. I think Sona's good.
I'm kind of thinking the same thing, honestly. Yeah,
Sona I like, and then I should probably go back. I should also go back to some of the other ones. I've done better on like Zyra and Annie and Sona
yeah,
now.
yeah. Zyra games were fun when you were playing Zyra support. We had a blast because we were just blowing people up.
Yeah, and I think it was a good match between our playstyles because it allowed you to be aggressive because they were so busy dealing with me and plants, and it allowed me to be a little passive because I didn't have to be right up in there.
Yeah,
So I think it ended up being actually pretty good for our playstyle.
I mean, I think if I can get Sona, I'm definitely gonna go for it. But
Oh
like,
yeah, I'm with you.
considering she gets banned fairly often, like if that's not the case, I'm probably gonna go for like Thresh or a Blitz possibly, because I used to play them a lot and I really love the hooks.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna try that again.
Might be interested in Nautilus. I want to say that like I put in one of the champions in that website I mentioned, and then like Nautilus came up as something that you might like. So
Oh yeah,
he's tanky.
yeah.
He's got a hook. He's got multiple CCs.
Never played him, but I think it might mesh with my playstyle.
I mean, he's got 3 CCs essentially. He's got his hook, which can also be used as an escape. He's got his ultimate, which which is really good in team fights, and I know you like big team fight stuff. And
Yeah.
then his auto attack roots people as well.
Nice.
So, and it's
Yeah, that might be
interesting.
my alley.
So yeah, that's basically what we're working on, right? I'm working on not being a terrible ADC. My sort of micro poking. Warding was something I worked on as well. I think that worked really well. I think we avoided a lot of ganks with some good wards.
Oh,
Uh,
words deeper, whatever you mean.
yeah, like by Dragon Mouth and then behind red. I'm gonna work on more ganking and better gank paths in jungle, continuing the last hit and roam well, and mid, and then top. I'm doing teleport plays and general CS. Anything else you wanted to add, or any like global things we're working on?
Um, I think there's a couple games where we definitely lost sight of Dragon. We should have had wards there.
Yeah,
So as
that's
much
true.
as we can contribute to that, either as like jungle mid or bot,
Yeah,
because there's a few times teams snuck them on us, and like to avoid that, or at least know what's happening, right?
yeah, true.
Like at the very least. Um, Also, we talked about this last time. There are a couple matches too where we went for neutral objectives and definitely got caught.
Yeah, when to pull off of a dragon or a baron is huge.
Yeah, like there was a recent game I remember where we were fighting a dragon and we all just took a bunch of damage from it, and then like three of them popped in and just like cleared us out.
And took the dragon.
Yeah, so we ended up just totally shit in the bed. But
Yeah. Yeah, so I think in general we've been better about prioritizing objectives and trying to lead the team. It's an interesting dynamic where you have to like, if you really want to lead a team to like take objectives, you have to be doing well. Even if it's the right call and people should listen to you, they like don't listen to you unless you're doing well, like
yeah,
individually.
almost spite, right?
That's not spite. I think they just go like, oh, you like. A lot of people have the idea of being a good player is having good in lane mechanics.
Yeah,
And so that's my problem because I don't necessarily have great micro mechanics, but macro stuff I know a little bit more about. But it's really hard to get people to listen to it. But with two of us, it's better. So we've talked about that. So yeah, I think prioritizing, especially with now that you get the objective, the first stone for killing the first turret, it's like super
that was
important
something
to.
that I think we talked about, at least in reference to my ADC games, is like when we have an advantage to do more tower damage.
Yeah,
I think we did well at that, if I recall.
that sounds right.
Yeah. So I remember a couple times us even specifically mentioned like, "Hey, we said this in the last video. Like, let's go hit that tower." Like,
And I
okay.
think, yeah, I think putting these videos out and like really like stating what we're doing, like that's been really cool for me. I don't know how you felt about it.
No, definitely. It's like that. I don't know what the statistic people quote is like you remember 10% of the things you hear, and like 100% of the things you teach somebody else.
Oh yeah,
It's kind of like that sort of thing. We're moving down that way on the spectrum, like not only putting it out there, but also like holding ourselves accountable and trying to help other people be better too if we can.
yep. Oh, I forgot. I should have done this at the beginning. So this is my bad. But a couple shout outs here to people who participated on the Reddit thread. Dat Bear Seal, Hello Cthulhu, and King Shinjin. All commented on stuff they were working on and helping other people talk about what they were working on, so that was cool. And William commented on some of on the YouTube videos. So shout out to you guys. Please let us know in the comments what you were working on.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, it's
Listen
awesome.
to what we gotta say. It's cool.
I like it. So that's it for Bronze 4 and Beyond for this week. Anything else we want to talk about? I need to speed up this game.
I think we hit it all. See you guys next week, and we'll see if we do what we said we are gonna do.
Yeah, right. Seriously. All right, I'll let this game play out at 4 times speed, but I'll mute us so you don't have to listen to us talk. All right, see you people. Bye.